learners. I hope you all are healthy, happy and safe at your places. So let's begin with the new chapter, that is our constitution. Okay, so basically what do we understand by constitution? A constitution is an important document laying down the fundamental principles of a country. The country is governed by this principle. What does that mean now? Let me take an example of your school. So we have certain rules in the school. Okay, the kids have to follow certain rules. If there won't be any rule, so you people will be fighting with each other. No one will be attending classes. People will be moving here and there, and no one is aware about their duties. So rules help us to know that what are our duties and what are we supposed to do. It helps in management and organization. So such a document is a constitution, which is for our country. Okay, in constitution all the rules are written, that what we as citizens are supposed to follow, what president is supposed to do, what ministers are supposed to do, what prime minister has to do. All the duties are written in it, what judiciary has to do. Okay, it helps in the management. It has certain rules, certain principle on which our country is governed. If there won't be such rules, if there won't be such principles, so there would be a lot of chaos in the country. That's why constitution is a very important document. So why do we need constitution? As I told you, just to do away with all the chaos and mess, and to be our country as a properly organized country where everything is properly managed, we need constitution. A constitution help us to know our duties. Okay, if you want to know what a prime minister has to do, so you just have to read constitution. In constitution everything is written, all the duties of prime minister, police, lawyer, judges, ours as well. Okay, so it helps us to know our duties. Secondly, if you have any complaint regarding ministers, so where would you go? You will go to judiciary. And where is it written? It is written in the constitution. So it also helps us to regulate a relationship between government and citizen. It also makes sure that no one misuses their power. Okay, for example, if president wants to misuse its power, so it is not possible. Why? Because judge can actually take an action against the president of the country as well, because it is written in our constitution and everyone has to follow the constitution only. Our constitution also guarantees certain rights. So there are problem that there are some people who are large in number, and there are some people who are in less number. For example, in India, Hindu are in the majority and Muslims, Sikh, Christians are in minority. So that Hindu does not dominate the minority. Who makes sure that? It is the constitution which makes sure that everything is mentioned in the constitution, all the rights of minority, and our constitution actually provide all citizens same right without any discrimination, whether it's majority, whether it's minority. Okay, next it provides us with our fundamental rights, that is the rights which no one can take away from us. For example, right to live, right to education, no one can take us. And if someone try to violate your right, what you can do? You can actually go to judiciary. Okay, and a strict action will be taken against that individual. Next is Constituent Assembly. So who made this beautiful constitution? It was the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly was an assembly which had 389 members. And from where these members came? These members were, some of them were elected from the provincial legislature, that means the states, and some of them were the part of the Indian princely states. Indian princely states were the state which were ruled by the ruler or some prince at that time, after basically at the time of independence. Okay, so this was a democratic assembly. Why? Because most of the people were elected. Okay, so there was no biasness. Secondly, there were many subcommittees in the Constituent Assembly. One of the subcommittee was the drafting committee, which was one of the most important committee, and the head of the drafting committee was Bhim Rao Ambedkar. Constituent Assembly took 2 years, 11 months and 17 days to draft the constitution, and our constitution came into effect on 26th January 1950. That's why we celebrate 26th of January every year. Okay, and it is a beautiful handwritten constitution, and it is the lengthiest constitution in the world. and these people took a lot of effort to make sure that every person, every citizen in India gets equal right and no one is discriminated in India. Okay, now there are certain organs of our government. Okay, Constitution has actually divided the power and the duties in the government so that no one can misuse their power. First one is the legislature, which makes the law, that is the parliament. Second, in executive, whatever the law is actually framed by the parliament is executed by the executives, that is the president, prime minister, police, all these. And the last one is judiciary, which makes sure that the law which was made by the legislature and executed by the executive is as per the consideration of the constitution or not. So it is made sure by the judiciary. Three of them takes care that none of them misuses their power. The judiciary looks after the power of legislative and executive, and both of them looks after the judiciary. So this is a check and balance so that no one can misuse their power. Next is preamble. Preamble is just like a summary of the constitution which has all the main objective of the constitution. Okay, it shows what kind of country we are and what are the main principles that we follow. India is a sovereign country, that means independent to conduct internal as well as external affairs. Now what does that mean? Earlier we were the we were a colonial country, that means Britishers used to take decision for us. Now we are a sovereign. Sovereign means we are independent, no other country can make decision for us. We Indians will be making decision for ourselves. Next, it is socialist. Socialist is that we think of the welfare of the people instead of making profit. We do not sell our resources for making profit. We just take care of it that everyone is getting food, shelter, no poverty. Okay, so the wealth, the money should not be in few hands, it should be for everyone. Next is we are secular, that means that our state, our government does not follow any one religion. All religion are equal in our country, there is no official religion. Next is democratic. It is a democratic country, that means people are chosen by the election. Next, it is republic, that is we do not have a monarch or a dictator. Our head, that is the president, is chosen by the election process. And next we have justice for all, no discrimination. Everyone is free in our country, no kind of discrimination. Everyone is getting job, everyone is getting equal rights. Next is fraternity, that means brotherhood. We all are together and we are a country with lot of diversity still living together. These are certain facts that is regarding our constitution. As I told you, it is the handwritten constitution. It is also known as the bag of borrow. That means our constitution has been borrowed by different countries. Okay, whatever the feature we liked about some other country, we have borrowed that. Next is these are certain points to remember, that is we have fundamental rights, we have directive principles in the constitution. Secondly, legislature makes sure, legislature, that means the parliament, has to make sure whatever the law they are making should be in consideration with the constitutional principle. They cannot make any law which is not in consideration with our principle of constitution. Okay, directive principle are the guidelines that are given by the constitution of India to all the states, that we should look after the people, we should go for education, prosperous economy, all these things. So these are guidelines which cannot